Interministerial departments and agency committees of the federal government returned in their report on Wednesday. According to Ngige, the report of the committees could bring an end to the 4-month-old strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Dr. Ngige dropped the hint in a statement by his ministry spokesman, Olajide Oshodun. The striking lecturers are at war over the payment platform to be adopted in public universities between the government-approved integrated personnel and payroll information systems and ASU preferred users. The minister noted that the meeting was with representatives of the Federal Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Finance and Budget and National Planning, Budget Office of the Federation, National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, the Federal Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, and National Information Technology Development Agency. He explained that the meeting was geared towards accelerating the resolution of the multiple strike actions of ASU, Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, NASU, and National Association of Academic Technologists, NAT. The Joint Admission Matriculations Board, JAMB, has warned operators of accredited computer-based test centers to desist from extorting candidates or face severe sanctions. JAMB stated this in its weekly bulletin that its attention had been drawn to report that some operators charged higher than the 700 naira fee stipulated for services rendered to candidates. It reiterated that it would not condone any form of exploitation and would impose a 100,000 naira fine on corporates after they had been made to refund money collected. The board also stated the hope that centers is granted license to perform certain functions would behave up to expectation. It advised candidates to report any CBT center charging above the board's stipulated fee for any of its services. Osun State Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has said he would emerge victorious in the July 16 governorship elections and that defeat is never an option for him in the contest. According to the governor, various efforts his administration had put into the development of the state would make the victory at the poll a landslide. The governor said this while addressing members of Nigerian Incorporated Electronic Practitioners Osun State Chapter during an engagement meeting organized by the Civic Engagement Office in Osogbo. Governor Oyetola, who was represented at the meeting by a special advisor on civic engagement, Mr. Olatubosun Oyitule, said campaign of calumny by the opposition parties against his administration would not stop his victory. He added that the landslide victory recorded by the All Progressives Congress for its candidate in Ekiti State governorship election would be replicated in July 16 election in the state. The governor also assured the electorate of not letting them down during his second term in office, adding that his mission in politics was service to humanity. He said the laudable achievements his administration had achieved in all sectors in the state would be consolidated on when re-elected. Governor Oyetola, however, urged the electorate to get their permanent voter cards to support him in the coming election. In his remarks, the chairman of the association, Mr. Olusegun Atoyebi, commended the governor on his various developmental projects across the state. Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ihianire, said the Guild of Medical Directors must be involved in the health reforms in the country. Dr. Ihianire said this during the inaugural Leadership and Business Summit of the Guild held in Abuja. According to the minister, there is need for a permanent and continuous communication link between the Federal Ministry of Health and the Guild as key stakeholders in healthcare delivery in the country. Minister of Health further said that for Nigeria to attain universal health coverage, private medical facilities and their management represented by the Guild of Medical Directors must be active team players in healthcare reform in the country. He added that the federal government should strongly review the issue of actively leasing out some of its facilities to be managed by the private sector in the public-private partnership arrangement. Nigerian Army has announced the commencement of the screening exercise for all successful applicants into its 83 regular recruits intake nationwide beginning from tomorrow. This is contained in a release by the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji. Consequently, all applicants have been directed to check their names at the Nigerian Army recruitment portal. It further added that the screening exercise, which will cover physical, mental, medical, and academic qualification for all the shortlisted candidates, would commence simultaneously across all the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and it will last for 2 weeks before final movement of qualified candidates to Belgore Forest, Kano State. All shortlisted indigenes of Osun State are enjoined to go to the screening center at the Command Day Secondary School beside Army Barrack, Ede, with their training kits and all other relevant documents, including their local government and state of origin certificates, academic qualification, printed bank verification number, and passport photography, or among others. And moving on to sports, Premier League club Newcastle United is preparing for a massive bid for Napoli striker Victor Osimhen. According to reports, Newcastle will make an offer of a significant sum to sign rumored Arsenal and Manchester United target Osimhen. The Magpies are keen to strengthen their attack ahead of next season and have the money to splash on an expensive new striker. It was gathered that the Newcastle are tempted to make a big offer for the Nigerian, but the player is not particularly tempted by transfer to St. James Park. For the moment, given the lack of movement by the Arsenal, the United over a transfer, he would prefer to remain at Napoli and play in the Champions League. Newcastle also made an attempt for Osimhen in January. While on the foreign scene, South African Police Minister Bheki Cele has said the youngest victim among at least 21 people who died at a drinking place over the weekend was 13. The cause of the death was not immediately clear, and the authorities are still investigating. The victims were found strewn across the floor and tables at the Enyobeni Tavern in the town of East London. Reports say the bodies have been taken to mortuaries where post-mortem examinations will be carried out. Mr. Cele, who had visited the scene and was briefed by the local police, said those who had died were between the ages of 13 and 17, but a detailed list of the victims has not yet been produced. It was gathered that the legal minimum drinking age in South Africa is 18. There are reports that people who had gone to the tavern were celebrating the end of school exams. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa expressed his condolences to families of the victims. And that ends the evening news on OSBC TV. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.